Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Triple B, and this is the Broken Bitter Black Man. And here we react to the reactions of broken and bitter people, pointing out that there are only two groups of people: those who know that they're broken and bitter and have started the healing process, and those of us who are just going around thinking that this is all normal. Now, unless you've been under a rock this past summer, probably one of the greatest rap beefs in the last 2, 3 years, probably since the pandemic took place. But boy, it's a lot of bitterness going on. It's a lot of bitterness. This rap beef has lasted as long as any other rap beef and pretty much has brought in everybody from newscasters to comedians. Y'all look at this.
This past summer's rap battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and now it's at the center of a legal dispute, with Drake filing petitions to find out if Universal Music Group artificially boosted the popularity of Kendrick's hit diss track, Not Like Us.
We've got lawyers involved in a rap beef. This is the first time, I think, in hip-hop history, other than, court cases for actual offenses, that somebody is getting sued because of a diss track.
A lot in the court of public opinion, but let's get the opinion of two actual attorneys. Joining us now, ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer and entertainment attorney Kevin Cassini. Let's start with you, Brian. Do you think Drake could have a strong case here?
Well, let's just be very clear. Like you said, this is a petition, not necessarily a lawsuit. And the argument that he's making is that he has enough information that he's asking the court of both in New York and in San Antonio, Texas, to be able to depose individuals in UMG, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, because he believes that he has enough information to show that he can question these people, to show that there were bots that were being used to inflate the popularity of Not Like Us, or other techniques like pay to play or other schemes to inflate the popularity of the song. So I think at this procedure, he may have enough, but the question is, does he get the requisite information if he does get the depositions down the road?
Now, if you're using bots, does that make you smart or does that make you a cheater? And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So explain to me, how is it that I can make a song, get a couple of bots to put that song on repeat and play over and over and over again, and I get paid for it? I mean, that's almost like I should just get me a couple bots and put my YouTube videos on repeat and just let them play over and over again. Ain't nobody watching them, but I'm making money, right? And that's what it's sounding like it's working. I mean, it's almost as if, you instead of mining Bitcoin, you mining music. And the more bots you have, the more spins you're going to make, the more money you're going to make.
Kevin, what do you think? Where does this go from here?
Tough to see what the end game would be. I agree that he's got high-powered attorneys that know what they're doing, that wouldn't have taken something this far unless they believed they could follow through. But I think you have to be careful when you cast aspersions. It seems unlikely that Universal would have to use those tactics for Kendrick's release and not for others, maybe even including his. So you might be careful what you're asking for here.
Might want to be careful what you're asking for here, because if you expose Kendrick, you basically exposing yourself, is what everybody's pretty much been saying. And for you to expose something that you're benefiting from, is that smart? Is that petty? Just because it didn't work for you this time? I mean, it's almost as if just let it play out. Let the record companies push him, promote him. I mean, Drake was already the bigger artist. Now Kendrick did take him down, and it could be argued who had the better verses. I'm gonna say verses. I'm not gonna say song, because Not Like Us. It's almost as if that song has done numbers as if it will go down as one of the best rap beef songs in history. Not to mention, it was so detrimental to somebody's career that they felt like they needed to sue over it. Like, this is definitely going down. Now, is it bitter that Drake is suing because his record company decided to back somebody else? Is he suing for defamation because Kendrick did put out there that he could be a PDF, but then Kendrick should be countersuing because Drake put out there that Kendrick was a woman beater? We don't know. Well, we do know. And we know that Drake is a little petty behind this one. I think you should have just, like I said, let it play out. Even if you do win, you think you just go right off into the sunset, into the hills of Canada and just retire? You think you're going to be able to make music after this? You think you're going to be able to go back to an acting career after this once your brand has been tarnished a little bit? It's going to be tough, Drake. It's going to be real tough. People going to say you bitter, man. They're going to say you're petty. And I think you already exposing that the system is definitely broken. If all I need is some bots to make millions of dollars.
And here's a question for both of you. Kevin, we'll start with you. If these petitions are not actually about whether UMG boosted popularity of the songs, which they deny, then what do you think it could actually be about?
Well, there's always a PR component to all of this, right? I've heard questions online about perhaps this is a way for him to get out of his recording contract. Maybe it's an attempt to keep Kendrick Lamar from performing the song that shall not be named at the Super Bowl. I'm not sure exactly where it goes. Could be that the discovery, the disclosure that they're looking for will help them figure that out.
And guys, we know Kendrick makes some accusations about Drake's character on Not Like Us. Brian, why do you think he wouldn't have gone after a defamation claim instead?
Yeah, that's a really interesting aspect of it. I think maybe you're one of two things. First and foremost, we are seeing aspects of a defamation claim in these lawsuits, but it's not a full-throated, he's defamed me. It could be that he believes either one, the speculation that these allegations are true, because truth is a great defense towards defamation, or two, that Drake may feel that it's only the icing on the cake and not the heart of the argument, that there may be too strong of an argument of defamation, in the sense that this could be opinion or another defense that Kendrick could raise, or he just doesn't see it as a battlefield that he needs to fight. The street cred of coming after someone after their words is not something that one rapper has done against another rapper, in at least my memory.
Street cred. Like, Drake actually got street cred. Now, don't get me wrong. Drake's probably connected to some people that got street cred, but I don't think Wheelchair Jimmy is out here banging.
And Kevin, could opening this up in the legal space actually have a negative impact on Drake? Could this backfire?
I'm not sure about how it would impact his credibility, but I can't imagine it actually gets him more fans for doing something like this. But if you look at the streaming numbers, I don't think he's hurting either. So a defamation claim might seem like more whining than anything else.
More whining than anything else. I mean, isn't this whole lawsuit you whining, either whining that Kendrick beat you in the rap beef, you're whining that your own record label pushed him more than they pushed you, or you're whining that he called you a PDF. Now, once the news hit, of course, everybody got to weigh in on it. Look at this.
What did you think of the lawsuit? It's not a lawsuit. He's filing a petition.
I don't have no comment on that. You know what I'm saying?
You've been standing by that no comment.
Huh?
I said this is the second time I heard you say that no comment.
Because I really don't have a comment because, like I said, I'm morally right. I'm loyalty. You know what I'm saying? I just, I gotta no comment that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why you think he don't want to comment on it? Why do you think that all of a sudden, he who talks more about what's going on in the culture than anybody else, all of a sudden now he don't want to comment on it. I mean, the man got a podcast of his own. I think he even got a show of his own on a major network. How you not gonna comment on it if you are part of the culture and people want to know your thoughts? Voice it, right? That's what you're supposed to do, right? In this new age of we just talk about what everybody else got going on. I mean, you don't want to talk about what you got going on, so you might as well talk about somebody else, right?
What do you think about the lawsuit?
I thought that the timing was.
What do you think about the lawsuit? Divert to somebody else, to get somebody else's opinion.
It's horrible for Drake. I thought that the timing made him look like a simp. I thought that
a simp.
Yes.
A whole simp? Damn.
I thought that I understood
him like that.
I'm just telling the truth. I thought that I understood though the business side of it. If that conversation is true, there's arguments that it's not.
What do you think about the lawsuit?
I think it was bad timing.
You think bad time? You think if he would have did it on a great time?
There's no good time for him after not like us.
It would have been good timing, but not after he just released his album and everybody's talking about the Super Bowl. They're talking about it too much. And anything he does, he could say it's not towards Kendrick, it's against UMG. People are going to put it towards Kendrick. It's going to make him look crazy. I think if he wanted to do it, I think do it later on. And I think he needs to come back with an album where he's rapping. Like no singing, no album with party, just rap. And everything he feels, put in his lyrics.
You think that's
I think he should just chill. No, because I feel like
chill or retirement.
No, not retirement. Chill, just like give it a beat. Because I feel like I like Drake, but I think timing is always it's going to be horrible for him for a little bit. Let us get through the Super Bowl.
Drake still gets
the
busy,
Grammys.
man. He still gets busy.
Let him rap. He's Drake.
Let him rap.
No.
I mean, I think whenever you're a multi-billion-dollar entity, you're going to have a problem with somebody labeling you a pedophile or some type of sexual offender. So I don't have no problem with that. But the problem I have is him challenging a system that he's benefited from. Like all of those performance-enhancing drugs the label gave the song or whatever, Drake, you benefited from that your whole career. Mm-hmm. So that's the issue I got. It's like you're telling on yourself. You cut your own legs out from under you.
Now, they're saying, and I've said Drake does benefit from it, but at the same time, you can't say Drake is the man and Drake making hits. Is Drake really making hits if the bots is doing all the work? If the bots is doing all the promotion? Is Kendrick really making hits? I mean, we listen to it on the radio, so it's programmed in our head because they play it over and over and over again. And then anytime you watching or scrolling on your Instagram and somebody got not like us on there, and I mean, is you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't watch anything, you can't scroll anywhere on social media this past summer and not hear that song. Hell, my 12-year-old who don't even know who Kendrick is but knows the words to that song. I think that there's some kind of dark forces at work to where a beef song where one rapper is calling the other rapper a pedophile. I mean, this ain't like talking about drugs, bitches and hoes. You calling somebody a PDF. And that's the number one song in the country. Where is the drawback? Where is the line that, okay, this ain't okay to be played on the radio? Where is the line of, damn, this song jamming, but you hear what he talking about? Why ain't nobody saying that? I mean, it's almost as if you can basically make a song about anything at this point now, put it on the radio, and as long as the radio says it's hot, everybody is going to say it's hot. And it's going to get in everybody's head. And now all of a sudden, whether Drake did it or not, Drake is now a PDF.
He didn't manipulate. They didn't manipulate all them football games, the cars driving up and down the street, the clubs. They didn't manipulate all that real life stuff that was happening instantaneously as soon as Not Like Us dropped. Instantaneously.
He says it didn't manipulate the cars and the people in the club playing it, and any football game you watched on TV playing it in the stands. But that's what manipulation is. Manipulation is making you think something is good when it's not. Just because you're hearing it over and over and over again, there is no difference between programming and hypnotizing. Once it's in your head, you're going to think it's good just because you keep hearing it over and over again. That's part of the manipulation of what they tell us is good music. What they tell us is hot. You think if we didn't hear these songs over and over again on the radio that Sexy Red would be who she is? That Megan Thee Stallion would be who she is? Music right now is trash.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to leave the show off, not with sports, not with politics, but with hip hop. It's supposed to be hip hop. It's supposed to be hip hop. But that is not what the hell is going on right now. Did you hear the latest news? Did you hear it? Drake is now dragging lawyers into his beef with Kendrick Lamar. I know y'all have heard about this by now. Drake filed a court petition Monday against his own record label, Universal Music Group, and Spotify, by the way, accusing them of harming him by allegedly boosting Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Drake's petition seeks the preservation and divulgence of information that might be used as evidence in a potential lawsuit against UMG, which is the distributor for the record labels of both Drake and Lamar. A second petition filed in Texas alleges UMG engaged in a pay-for-play scheme with iHeartMedia to help boost the song, which the petition also claims defamed Drake. You may recall Not Like Us infers that Drake engages in pedophilia. And the song has gotten more than 900 million plays, according to figures listed on Spotify, who obviously declined to comment on the petition. As for UMG, they issued the following statement saying, quote, "The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear." End quote. You know, it's interesting that we bring that up because before
Almost a billion, probably a billion by this point, or definitely by Super Bowl, it will be a billion streams. Means the song's been played a billion times. Somebody's got to do the math on that just to figure out if that song played all day, every day, how many people or how many bots or, you know, like what is the playtime in days for that one song to be played for 24 hours? How many times would that song be played in 24 hours? And then how many days it would take to reach a billion streams? Like, that's a lot.
here's why I bring it up. All of them want to remain nameless. All of them. The hip hop artists I know, the radio disc jockeys that I know, the journalists that cover it, even though I got Torre coming on in a few minutes. I mean, I've never seen an industry where you got folks, yo, I'm not touching this publicly.
Nobody wants to touch it publicly. Not just Fat Joe. Nobody in the industry. But why? Because everybody in the industry know that they all benefiting from it. Now, they may not have as many bots as Drake and Kendrick, but they got them bots. They know that they ain't got the millions and millions of streams on their own. They know that it ain't somebody sitting there playing their song over and over again on the radio. So they all benefit from it. Just the fact that you own a major label. They all broken. And don't want to say nothing for fear of being called bitter. The fact that Drake is now suing over a beef, that's going to come up in every argument when you start talking greatest MCs, greatest lyricists. I mean, hell, that's just going to put Kendrick at the top of the list. That he went after a man so hard, he made his ass sue.
Judgment, I'll sue.
But that ain't all that's done took place in this beef. Somebody else done jumped in the mix. Since the lawsuit, now Kendrick has released an album. Pretty hot. And of course, he's made some comments about some people, and you know, everybody's got to go in there and decipher what the hell Kendrick talking about. And just look.
He put a law in. Yeah. He put a law in place. All right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Mm-hmm. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English, okay, he is saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black women.
So he's basically saying all white comedians
are only allowed to
talk about black women
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about. We're back. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
it's a law.
Now I understand why.
So, Kendrick put in the beginning of a song, don't let no white comedians talk about black women. That's law. Now, the only problem with that is the fact that he ain't named no names. And we can see some hit dogs holler. Andrew Schulz jumped out there. Gary Owen jumped out there. I think even Bill Burr may even made a couple comments, but all the attention went to Andrew. Why did it go to Andrew? Because Andrew responded in a way that didn't take too kind to the hip hop community.
People and the gang affiliate, you know, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick.
Yeah, Andrew kind of said he would make love to Kendrick. And everybody took that as sexual, you know, essay.
I'm going to get medieval on your ass.
Well, everybody didn't take too kindly to, you know, the man saying that he was going to penetrate another man. And
shut up! What the hell are you talking about? I am a boy!
He's got some backlash behind it. Got a whole lot of backlash behind it. This man has gotten to the point where hell he has gotten some death threats.
But this is white humor, right? Brothers, we don't joke like that for the most part. We don't joke like that for the most part, right?
What's up, y'all? Exodus 1, a.k.a. Indigo Sky. Andrew Schulz. Better be careful, boy. All that slick talking about Kendrick, bro. You need to find you something to do, little white buck, because you ain't funny, boy.
Y'all did exactly what he wanted y'all to do. He make a comment that is so extreme, it had to go viral. It had to be seen by everybody. Now, everybody who didn't know who Andrew Schulz was before this definitely knows who Andrew Schulz is now, which is perfect timing considering this man's Netflix special is about to come out. And the fact that he trolled y'all into making him a part of the rap beef, well, hell, he basically did Drake a favor. He took all the attention off of him and put it on another white boy that y'all are just so angry with that y'all are now threatening to kill this man's wife and kid? What is wrong with y'all? Does Kendrick have that much power that if he says don't let no white comedian talk about black women, that's law?
That's too much power for one man to have.
And y'all just run with it. Damn, I wonder if he could tell y'all, get off y'all asses and start a business and support one another. Would y'all do it? I mean, he is helping out with the gang situation out in LA. We'll see how long that lasts. But I mean, it's almost like there's a lot of other things that Kendrick has talked about in his songs that black people needed to react to. But this is the one that y'all decide to stand on? And then try to make it about race? Look, every time it's a black man and a white man involved in some kind of hoopla on the internet, we can't throw out the race card. Okay, it's about the same level of these women throwing out the SA card. You keep throwing it out there and you keep crying wolf, pretty soon people ain't gonna believe it when it really does happen. And that seems to be the issue with the black community. That seems to be the bitterness of the black community, because it seems like every damn time a white man says or does something to a black man, we got to make it about race. And all the time it ain't about race. A lot of times it's just shit that happens, and it just happened to be with somebody who's black and white. When we gonna stop doing that? Schulz had to kind of either clean up or back up what he said on his show with Charlemagne. Now, the fact that everybody was going at Charlemagne as well because he hang out with Andrew, and they was like, well, why you let the white boy say that? Or say what he wanted to say. Charlemagne, like, he's a comedian. Say what you want to say. Just be prepared to deal with what come with it.
I feel like almost heartbroken, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Talk to me.
It's because, I've been watching rap beef my whole life, bro.
And you wanted to be in one.
My whole life I was like, these guys get it. You can say anything. Everything's fair in rap beef.
Mm-hmm.
And like me, I'm a booty goon.
I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right?
And I thought, I was like, all right, there's a space for us in rap beef. I could be a booty goon. I could come after it. And they'll be like, yeah, that's what's up. He's going there. He's taking it to the next level. Mm-hmm. It turns out that booty goons,
somebody's going to have to give us some booty. And it's just that simple.
Like myself are not accepted.
Because it's gay.
And then I try to go back to MAGA, and they're like, what? You're a booty goon? We don't accept that either. Nobody's accepting me, man.
Not make America gay again.
They're not going to do it.
They are looking forward to January 20th.
What's going to happen then?
Trump said letters belong in the alphabet.
Whoa.
That's what he said.
I don't know if Andrew just wasn't aware of essay on another man was not funny in the black community. I mean, even Cat Williams told you.
And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are.
Now, I don't know if Andrew was not aware that if you make a joke about taking another man's manhood, it's got to be funny. Some people didn't find it funny. Some people found it offensive. Some people thought it was just part of Andrew and Charlemagne's gay games that they be playing. We don't know. We do know that Andrew's a comedian, and we know he probably intended it for it to be funny, but the fact that, one, that it wasn't funny, and then the fact that once it wasn't funny and wasn't accepted, then you tried to justify it by saying that, oh, well, rappers talk about black women all the damn time. Why can't I say it? Oh, well, people talk about SA all the time and make jokes about it. Why can't I do it? You can do it. This shit just gotta be funny.
Kendrick, on his new album, GNX, had a line said, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's
Right.
law."
Right.
And Andrew Schulz took that personally.
Right.
So he responded, and he did this whole comedic tirade.
Was it comedic?
I thought it was. You don't think so?
No.
I mean, he is a professional comedian.
Yeah, I get it. And here's the thing: when he did the thing about the black girlfriend effect, hilarious. And I think that no comic should be told what to do. I think that comedy and the comic's vantage point is sacrosanct. But there's a couple of things he did that I was like, first off, when he said rappers are trying to tell comedians what to do, one man said something. And what a lot of white guys tend to do is lump niggas all together. So it wasn't just one dude. It was a rapper. Rappers did it. And then and it's always, well, y'all do this, so we do this. Comedy is sacrosanct to me. But he sounded just like all the white dudes I see on Fox News. Every time somebody gets shot, what about black on black crime? So to me, it lost its comic vantage point when that happened.
Well, right. He basically said that in response that he could make love to Kendrick Lamar.
What he said is he could rape him.
Right. Well, he said he could make love to him. The only thing he
call
can
it
do
what we want
is
to.
decide whether it's consensual or not.
That's rape, right?
Which is rape, right.
So, and to me, when a white boy talks about buck breaking a nigga, that's problematic. Now, to me, that could be funny. Obviously, I've never seen a rape joke be funny. I've never seen it. But you can't then say, well, they're making all these threats to my daughters and all this kind of stuff. You can't do that. To me, and then I heard him and they were talking about, I make jokes about everybody. I guarantee you he would never make a rape joke about nobody else but a black man. Ever. Ever.
I don't know.
Now, since then, Andrew has brought up a couple jokes that he has made about rape. I think he even talked about one joke that he talked about in his last comedy special about himself being raped by a Jamaican black man. But what I want to point out is that DL said that Andrew lumped in all the rappers because of Kendrick, but he got no problem calling him a white boy. So if it was a Corey Holcomb that made that joke,
I really think he doesn't know that he's playing with danger.
No.
I don't think he gets it.
Well, he's a white boy from New York.
These are all little... first of all, let me say this. I think he's funny.
Super funny.
I think he's funny. But I don't think... they're around black people that are going to egg them on.
Right.
They're not around black people that's going to be like, homie, cool out. Motherfuckers is not playing out here.
would anybody have said anything? But the fact that Andrew's white and he made the joke and it wasn't funny. That again, that's the point that I feel like is what's causing the big stink. Is if it was funny and people actually laughed at it, probably wouldn't nobody blinked an eye. But the fact that it wasn't funny, and then the fact that you are now saying that you would make love to another man, and it's going to be received as you saying that you're going to essay a man. I don't think he was aware of the extreme that, unfortunately, black people take things and how we're going to make it about race. You know, he couldn't just been an unfunny ass comedian that said something. You know, he's got to be a racist white boy that said something. And the fact that Kendrick didn't even mention his name proves this man was trolling y'all. This man said, here's an opportunity for me to say that the biggest rapper in the world right now was talking about me. I'm going to say something that's going to be so catastrophic, and I'm going to get all of y'all attention, and everybody's going to know who I am just in time for my Netflix special. This is better than a commercial. And y'all giving him all the attention, everything that he could have hoped, minus the death threats. But if you on YouTube or any kind of space where you're on camera and people can leave comments, you're going to get those. People are going to say negative things because that's what people do, especially people who can't do things with themselves, or just unfunny people who think it's funny to make death threats about somebody. But back to Andrew, he's definitely getting all the attention that he could hope for. Just in time for his Netflix special. People, the broken and bitterness is all over this one. And the fact that y'all think that Kendrick Lamar has enough power to say, don't no white comedian say nothing about black women, and y'all better not laugh.
That's too much power for one man to have.
Damn it, Kendrick needs to make a whole album about investing. He needs to make a whole album about black love and these relationships that y'all keep going back and forth with. Well, maybe if Kendrick told y'all ass that black women, you need a man. Black man, treat your black woman right. Would y'all do it? Do y'all follow the good things, or just only the things that you feel like you can get some attention with? Because it seems like if Kendrick got that much effect on people to where you're willing to send a death threat to a man behind something that he said, well, damn, that makes me feel like Kendrick can actually change the world, or at least change the minds of black people, because y'all are listening to the point where y'all are willing to go to jail for something that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Entertainment. And y'all sit here and y'all consume it and think that this is actually real. And it ain't. They pulling the strings on all of y'all, and y'all are doing exactly what they want y'all to do. Talk about it. Give them attention. Don't be paying attention to what's going on in the White House. Don't be paying attention to what's going on in the stock market or in real estate. Pay attention to the peasants and the people who don't control shit. What are we doing? If we want better, we got to do better. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Your boy Triple B, the Broken Bitter Black Man. Broken Bitter Black Man on Instagram. Bitter Black Man on Facebook. Broken Black Man on X. Till next time.
What the fuck we say at the end of this shit? Fuck 'em.